So when it comes to this war, based on the buildup we've had in all of these chapters thus far regarding Shigaraki, how they've said time and time again he's a monster, even in one of the latest chapters of My Hero Academia, I want to say like 268 or so, Mirko referred to him as that thing. That thing cannot be allowed to be released out of his tank because we'll all be screwed. They definitely got me feeling as though Shigaraki, for all intents and purposes, when it comes to My Hero Academia, feels as though he's playing the role of a Madara of this war that we got brewing, baby. And if y'all know anything about me, I know Madara Uchiha from Naruto, one of my favorite villains, one of my favorite antagonists, one of my favorite characters. So that's some pretty big stuff. Let's talk about My Hero Academia, baby.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move.
That's how it be, though. Chapters 267 through 268. Shigaraki, Mirko, Endeavor. Just insanity. Hawks, Dabi, like, So 267, although it felt unclear for me, I read it a couple different times. It seems as though it was legit that Hawks was responsible for the death of Twice, which that was something that I'm still kind of like, wow. And you know, he's like, you're not even gonna cry for him. You know, that's your teammate, that's your people's, that's your man's. What the hell? And Dabi like just blew open a whole new possibility to who this character is, what's up with him, and just how twisted and sick and how different he is from the League of Villains. Because you look at somebody like Toga, yeah, we know her backstory. It's sad, like what happened with her, but you always go and you can approach the character Toga like, while she's dangerous, she doesn't give me that menacing feeling. I'm not just like scared to death of a Toga character, because you feel as though somewhere in there is a nice little girl, you know what I'm saying? Likewise with somebody like Twice. Somebody like Twice, you know, he's a goofball. I mean, RIP Twice, dude is gone. He's the fuck up out of here. But you know, somebody like him is like, alright, whatever. There's very few in the League of Villains that truly give you that, I don't want to get next to that dude. And Shigaraki's one of them, and definitely 267 showed even further why Dabi is one of them too. Because I mean, between the fact that he's like, my tear ducts were burnt off a long time ago, fam, to really give a shit to cry about something, and when he starts breaking down, it just really starts making me look at the whole theory of who Dabi really is as like, I'm honestly at the point where I wouldn't mind Dabi actually turning out to be somebody else besides Endeavor's son that we, you know, Toya, that supposedly died or whatever, that Endeavor wasn't able to rescue, because he's starting to just become so fascinating. Now, even if he is, let's just say hypothetically speaking, he does become, you know, it turns out that he's Toya, I want a little more added to it, because we got a little bit more into the backstory of Hawks, and we find out that Hawks was essentially sent to like a special academy to be a special hero when he was younger, which again, if Dabi knows his real name, Keigo Takami, or Takami, then it makes you wonder, like, could it possibly be that Toya was, you know, they faked his death and sent him to an academy to become a special hero? Could it be like something along the lines of that, but he defected? Or was Toya initially supposed to go there anyways? Like, there's still more to discover in Endeavor's backstory. So even if Dabi turns out to be Toya, I think there's a possibility for it to even be more interesting than, oh shit, your son you thought was dead is back. Obito Uchiha in the house. Nah, let me stop. Dabi's way more cool than Obito. Like, although according to Naruto, Obito's the cool. Okay, now I gotta chill. And Hawks basically proclaimed, who the hell are you? He's like, yo, out of the whole entire League of Villains, the only two I couldn't get info on is Shigaraki and you. And Shigaraki, yeah, you're not gonna find out much about him. All for One, that was like his baby right there, that he, you know, hit all his backstory. We know Shigaraki's backstory and his connections to the predecessor of All for One, or One for All, Nana, and all of that jazz, and what happened, which it was sick and sadistic, and wow, that was some great writing. But, you know, so that's one that, okay, makes sense. All for One is going to hide that information. The doctor, Maruta Shiga, is going to hide that as well. But on the flip side with Dabi, we don't know why he wouldn't be able to find out any information, other than the fact of like, hey, we have the suspicion that he is related somewhat to, or possibly being Toya, the deceased son of Endeavor. But with the whole academy thing that Hawks was sent to, this could open up possibilities that he was there. This could open up possibilities he was there, or it could just be that Dabi's that damn good and he did his research and found out about all of these motherfuckers, including the secret identity of Hawks. And I ain't gonna lie, when Dabi started breaking down, I don't give a shit about the League of Villains. Don't care. No, nah, fuck him. Don't care. I don't give a shit about Shigaraki. Screw him. Burn him alive, who cares, whatever. I don't give a shit about none of that stuff. Even twice, the only thing I'm mad about is like, yo, he would have helped me with my goals. And then he says basically that he believes in the will and he wants to see it through, the will of Stain. That pushes even further. Like, I don't know if Horikoshi is like, because we're so dead on the nose and the fandom is so insistent on you know, his identity, Dabi's identity being that of Toya, you know, Endeavor's son, that maybe he's pushing it even further to a different direction, because him being so gung-ho about Stain, you know, Stain basically his will and like, yo, that's the way I want to rock, makes you question things like, could Dabi be related to Stain? Maybe, who knows? We've been bamboozled, we've been fooled, we've been had, and he's actually like Stain's long lost son, and that's the reason why he knows everything, because he followed his father's footsteps. Or it could just be that, again, it could all trickle down to a lot of a mess. It could be that he was Endeavor's son. He went to a secret academy at some given point after he was all burnt up. He eventually discovered the will of Stain, you know, the hero killer, and that's what led him to becoming the monster that he is today. He's just a more twisted, fucked up version of Stain. And does this have anything to do with several chapters ago when All Might and Aizawa were talking, and I forget which one of them was saying that they was going to go visit Stain? Could it be that they started to crack down on who Dabi is and his, you know, ideals, and that's why they wanted to go visit Stain? Because that kind of came out of nowhere, like in the middle of all this shit. Like, why you want to go visit Stain? You think he's gonna help you motherfuckers? He don't like heroes, he don't fuck with you. And I just gotta say, Dabi, just he's quickly becoming like, alright, we lost twice, very heartbreaking, but he's an epic dude. When he says, oh yeah, by the way, Hawks, your life is one more thing I don't give a shit about, bam, I was like, Dabi, you nasty dog. Love how we got a shot of Gigantomachia and he's just there with the radio waiting for the signal to like go bust shit up. Like, I definitely see that, whether it be that Shigaraki busts out the tank and just starts massacring people, or Shigaraki, you know, busts out the tank and he gets the call from, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta think, if the doctor is just able to have Shigaraki say one word, Gigantomachia is gonna just bust out of wherever the hell he's at and come running to the scene, and it's gonna be a massacre. Maybe the combination between whatever Shigaraki has turned into, because you got to think he's had 2 power-ups and we haven't even really seen the extent of one of his power-ups since the big battle against Redestro. He's had that power-up, and then now he's had God knows what. He's basically potentially like a more humanized, humanoid version of a Nomu. So like, you add those 2 combinations plus Gigantomachia, I feel as though, like, especially with all the forewarning and shit we've gotten, he's becoming the Madara of My Hero Academia, the one villain of this war that is like, he shows up, it's going to be hell. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm too much of a Madara fan to say immediately like, yeah, that's 100% who he is, because at the end of the day, Shigaraki still has to prove himself to you know, garner that. And what I mean by that is, in order for me to truly say he is that guy, he is the villain that he shows up to this war, it's all over, we need some bodies. So when he pops out that tank eventually and he, you know, just starts going on a warpath, whether it be that Gigantomachia shows up and you know, Shigaraki and him start killing people, I definitely foresee, if there's anybody that's going to die in the near future out of all of this, as awesome as she is, as greatness as she displays, I could see him taking out Mirko, and that's gonna suck, because I love me some Mirko, but she's too hell-bent on it. It's like, Mirko, chill out, you in hell's danger, like, because then when we get to 268, again, like I said earlier, Mirko says something along the lines of like, yo, this thing can't be, you know, released into the world, because, you know, we got stuff going on, the other sides of the war. Crust is, you know, dealing with the Nomu, which I still, I ain't a fan of Crust, he's crusty to me, whatever, but he's trying to fight against the regenerative Nomus. He's telling Endeavor, yo, this shit is too much. You got Aizawa popping in there, using his quirk to stop shit, and it's like, okay, we got other stuff, which eventually, by the end of 268, intertwines with what Mirko's doing, but a good majority of, like, the past, what is it, like 6-7 chapters has been a lot of shit happens, cut back to Mirko busting through Nomus. More shit happens, yo, look at Mirko, she's hopping her way through. Little more shit happens and Mirko's kicking Shigaraki's tank, like, yo, which it is interesting because between the chapter, at one point, which it was something that I caught, and maybe it's whatever, but his tank said the status was 74%. And then a little, you know, a couple things transpired, and then again, we cut back to it and it says 75%. So is it going to be that it's still rising? Like, is it going to be able to be completed somehow? Maybe like with everything going on, he's still gonna be essentially being created, even with the tank busting because of whatever the doctor has done. Which, you know, on a side note, just to jump off topic real quick, it was interesting to see the Nomu that was like very cognizant. Like, this Nomu was not just like an idiot. This Nomu was able to actually function and think properly, and he's like trying to evade Aizawa, which, just imagine if this doctor had more time to continue developing Nomu, how much of a horrible time the heroes would have had with the Nomu. Like, we already had shit where, like, you know, going back to the very first arc where All Might had to fight that Nomu and he had to run for his money, or even, you know, one of the later ones, Endeavor against that Nomu that popped into the tower of where Endeavor was with, you know, Hawks and shit like that. Imagine now we have one that is fully intelligent, able to, you know, discern that, oh shit, Aizawa, this guy has that power to erase quirks, let me boogie up out of here. And then he even uses something called liquefaction rupture and just starts like fucking everything up. Like, these Nomu, they are smart to have attacked now, although I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing it off, because you got to think, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm totally off or whatever, but this doctor being with All for One all these years, and as old as he may be, who knows if he's playing possum, who knows if he's acting extra, oh my god, no, just for the lols, and at the end of the day, it's not really that serious because he got everything figured out, and he knows that Shigaraki's more than enough to do the job. Just a thought. I mean, the dude has seen some shit in his time, right? And then after, again, like I said, the tank goes 75%. Mirko uses something called Luna Arc and smashes, seemingly, Shigaraki's tank. And it was kind of interesting. I was a little confused when Endeavor rushes out of nowhere and grabs Mirko, and she's like, yo, we gotta stop that thing before it comes out. She said basically, you know, we gotta kill that thing and kill the doctor, especially before that thing is able to function properly. Was it that Endeavor grabbed her because he knew that something was about to happen to her right then and there, or was it that he just happened to be on his way from, you know, fighting those Nomu? Because if that's the case, then we could be walking into 269 or 270 with a giant surprise of Shigaraki's here, and that's going to be the true testament to exactly what Shigaraki has become, the level of impact he has upon arrival, especially, you know, with him and Gigantomachia. To be honest with you, I see some Berserk references in there, some inspiration, shall I say. It seems like, you know, and I know I'm throwing references everywhere, like he's Madara, he's this, he's that, but I'm just trying to understand where this story is going based on what some of the influences may be. Because if we're going in Berserk terms, if Shigaraki would essentially be playing the role of a Griffith, then Gigantomachia could be playing the role of Zod, which that'll be freaking exciting. A Shonen Jump version of that shit. I don't know how it's gonna go. Overall, these last two chapters, it feels as though the war is getting more exciting, more deadly. Things is like the Dabi shit alone, of basically, you know, the death of Twice, Dabi about to kill Hawks right there, Dabi's identity being so freaking crazy. It seems as though at one given point, Dabi even told Hawks who he was, and then that's when Tokoyami, which Tokoyami, oh, don't care, it shows up to, you know, stop shit. But if that's the case and Tokoyami's able to get Hawks up out of there, we will know the identity of this dude real soon, unless Hawks, you know, faints and it's unconscious for a while. So we gotta wait and see on that one. But curious what you guys think about all this. For starters, do you think there's a potential for Shigaraki to truly feel as though he is the spiritual Madara Uchiha for My Hero Academia? The way they're hyping him up, the way, like, don't let him out of the tank, don't bring him out of the coffin. Also, do you see like maybe some influence with, you know, Gigantomachia and Shigaraki being like a Griffith and Zod again? Totally different classes of writing, totally different, all of that jazz, but do you see any influences there? And where do you think all this shit is gonna go? Who the hell is Dabi? How the hell does he know about Keigo Takami? Like, what's up? And your overall thoughts and expectations for the My Hero Academia manga with chapter 269 and beyond. It's gonna be a bit of a wait for this chapter, but nonetheless, I can't freaking wait, because My Hero Academia's manga right now, this is some shit that I'm hyped for. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and beware of the Shigaraki. I'm just saying.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave. Leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go, admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace. Last time, I'ma say last time. Moving on to the future, leave the memories as a pastime. Memories always feel like the worst. Deading all the past, leave it in a hearse. Sometimes I wanna lie, but I don't. Why lie when truthfully you get caught in it? Then usually it's all off and shit. Uncalled for shit, now I'm off the shit. Maybe lately what I've been facing got me crazy. No, I can't take it. Maybe